This month on PMQ Extra, editors-at-large Liz and Tracy revisit their restaurant tour of Chicago. Steve Green introduces Tom Feltenstein, and PMQ gets a call for help from a new pizzeria operator in Atlanta.
Every single year we go back to Chicago, and every year there's new restaurants to try, and it's really hard to keep up, but we try really hard to try as many restaurants as we can. We headed out to Sienna Tavern because of the apps we saw on the menu, like the burrata and the homemade focaccia.
So this was the first place we visited. They have an obsessive from-scratch mentality, which I really noticed this year a lot at Chicago restaurants. I love that they made their own mozzarella in-house. They offer an ever-changing focaccia of the day. Whenever I see a bread of the day, I'm going to order it. It just feels more special.
La Balena we went to because it's been repeatedly voted as a best new restaurant. Eater recently named the chef of the year. That's Chris Pandel. So whenever we see something like that happening at a new restaurant, we have to go check it out.
I thought the menu was really well edited by the chef and owner, and the pizza had a unique caramelization due to honey added to the crust, which the server let us know. I love when servers tell you something about the food that you don't necessarily know or isn't on the menu. And I also love their cocktail list, which is based on Amaro and bitters from countries that surround Italy.
And then we went on to Aurelio's, which we've been trying to go to for a while now, ever since Tracy wrote about them in the Time Capsule. And so we headed out to Homewood to check them out, their historic pizzeria out there. And we met up with Kirk Moriello, and he took us all around the pizzeria to see it. And they have a lot of cool stuff going on. They have all kinds of memorabilia around the pizzeria, which is really fun to see. One of the reasons that I wanted to go out there, which Tracy makes fun of me all the time, is because whenever something says it's the biggest or the oldest or anything, Aurelio's claims to be the largest pizzeria in the, is it country?
I believe the world.
Yeah, the world. Yeah. So I had to go see. So it was like 12,000 square feet. So we went out there and checked it out, and it's really big.
Liz loves the superlatives. We've been working with Aurelio's for a while. I covered them for Time Capsule in PMQ. You can check it out in the April 2012 issue. They've been in business since 1959. They've really been pizza pioneers in the Midwest. The kitchen is larger than some pizzerias. Their production capacity is just mind-boggling. And Aurelio's does a lot of things right. They have a great Facebook page, well-loved product. They've expanded into franchising. But one thing I remember in particular was these cutouts on their pizza boxes. Customers could collect them to earn free pizzas. It was so simple, but so fun and effective. It's sort of like an old-school rewards program.
And I remember the deep dish chocolate chip pie. And then, because we weren't full yet, then we went on to the Nel Cote, and that one was, when I checked out the website for that one, I couldn't believe just how ornate it all was. It was crystal chandeliers and Italian marble and all this ornate woodwork, and I mean, you never see pizzerias like that. So I thought, well, we have to go check this out and see, what kind of, happenings are going on there. And they had a great cocktail list and everything, so we wanted to check that out too.
Yeah, I agree. It felt very luxurious, glamorous, didn't have any pretension, which was also nice. And this was another really from-scratch concept. They have a theme of European-inspired small plates that are made with local ingredients, which is actually a very European concept. And they make pizzas and pastas from Midwestern wheat that they mill in-house by themselves. I loved here that you could buy bags of their dried house-made pasta to go. Of course, I bought a bag. It's great to offer your own products to go so that guests can think about you long after they leave the restaurant. And I'm still enjoying that pasta, and I remember them every time I eat it.
And then before we left, we had to hit a deep dish pizzeria, which was Giordano's. And believe it or not, I've never been to Giordano's. I don't know why, just haven't been. And now I think I want to go back every time we go to Chicago. It was excellent. I loved it. We got a veggie pie, and it was just stuffed. She kept telling us, it's going to take like 35, 45 minutes. Are you okay? Are you okay? And we're like, yeah, that's fine. Just bring it. So, but it was great, and I will definitely return. And I know that they deliver pizzas across the country as well, and I might just have to order one of those.
And as Liz mentioned, with deep dish pizzas, timing is always an issue. So I enjoyed that, even though we didn't take advantage of it, they had express lunch options that have pizzas for one. It kind of helps local employees and businesses get in and out quickly. And they do have a prominently displayed freezer in the store so that anyone wants to take a stuffed pizza to go can grab one. And like Liz mentioned, they ship nationwide too. So it's great for ex-Chicagoans who miss their hometown pizza, or even for visitors or people who've never been to Chicago who want to try the style. So it was definitely, they have a great brand and a great reach in the city. I love Chicago food. It is such an exciting food scene. Every year there are new restaurants to try. And not only is the National Restaurant Association show so fun to see what's out there in the restaurant world, but the city itself just has amazing food and really is a great embodiment of what we see at the show, which is that there are so many different kinds of operations. And I love the trip. It's become a tradition for us here at PMQ. It's always fun.
Are you a Tom Feltenstein fan like I am? You've come to the right place. PMQ, we've got them. And we're going to show them off in the next couple of issues. Tom has written so many books, so many publications, we can't even fit it on this table. You'll be seeing about our special trip to Florida to meet the man that knows more about marketing restaurants than anyone I know about. I've been a big fan of Tom's for about 20 years. Most of you might know where he got his start. He worked with McDonald's during their heyday, and he was working right with Ray Kroc, and he's got some great stories and insights that we'll be able to share. He's also kind of outrageous. Sorry, Tom, but it's true. You are outrageous. The incredible Tom Feltenstein. Here's just a sample of what you'll be seeing and reading about in future issues of PMQ.
In 1982-3, there was a bunch of guys sitting around in Seattle, Washington. And one guy says, you know, we're going to start selling an $8 cup of coffee. Of course, the others look at him as if he was nuts, right? Well, look at Starbucks today. Back in the 50s, there was several people sitting around, and this one gentleman says, we're going to start selling the worst tasting pizza you've ever put in your mouth. But we're going to sell more than anyone else because we're going to deliver it in 30 minutes or less. In the 70s, the guy walks in and says, we're going to start selling breakfast at McDonald's. So I ask everybody, what's your cup of coffee? What's your pizza? What's your breakfast? So what I focus on is how to be remarkable.
Earlier in the month, PMQ received a help call from a pizzeria operator having a problem with his dough recipe. Steve Green and Brian Hernandez got on the case.
We've got a guy calling from Atlanta. He's been open for 3 days. He's giving away his pizza free because he doesn't have a recipe. Doesn't have a New York recipe, and his wife's really mad at him. He's in trouble, so we got to get him an emergency dough recipe. And he's been open for 3 days, but his challenge is keeping his door open.
All right, Jay. Well, I really appreciate your help, man. This will help this guy get up and running and get his feet under him, hopefully. You know, we get a few calls, maybe once a week or something like that. But if somebody has a problem that we can try to help out with, or point them at least in the right direction, if our website can't handle it, our website probably fixes or answers 80-90% of everybody's questions.
I've been out there before. I've been in a struggling store, and I can feel this guy. I can feel his pain.
We have such a great tool in our think tank that you can just post up a question, and you've got, I don't even know how many other pizzeria owners, just anybody in the business who can be out there to help answer your questions. It's one of the most respectable forums I've ever been in, that's for sure.
Probably once a week we get a call, a letter, or an email, and they've got stories, and immediately I get them into the think tank.
No problem, man. Well, we appreciate readers like you, and we just want you to do your best, man. So good luck, definitely, and keep us posted, okay? Do your homework. It's all about knowing what you're jumping into before you get there, because there's always going to be something else that you didn't plan for that's going to come up as well.
So we're going to call Danny Thompson of
Villa Castillo in Atlanta, Georgia. He had called us a couple months ago. Just wanted to catch up with him and see where he's at now, see if we were able to give him any help. So, hi, is this Danny Thomason?
Sure.
Hi, this is Brian from PMQ Pizza Magazine. We spoke.
Hey.
We spoke a few months ago. You were needing a dough recipe, and
Yes, sir.
yeah, just calling to see if everything worked out for you, or if we were able to help you at all.
Oh yeah, you was actually. You did help me, and it worked.
There you go. So you are using the think tank forum, the visiting those threads.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm having a. Well, I go on your website every day. Yeah, you really helped me out, and let you know. Where I'm at, Atlanta, Georgia area, they're already talking about the pizzeria that's been here 20 years. How my pizza is better than theirs, and it was, with your help, I was able to get there.
Great. I'm glad you're doing well, and glad we could help. All right, Danny. You have a good day.
You too.
All right. Cool beans. I'm glad we were able to help him. I really like the fact that he says he's on our site every day, and it just kind of goes to attest to what a good resource that think tank is. I'm really happy that he's able to succeed. Huzzah.